Welcome back to another episode of Conversations with Claire. Today, my guest is, I'm going to try to do it like they do in your intros. Are you ready? Julia Rene. How did I do?
It's good. It's so good. I think they should hire you instead.
I do MC events, so it's like, you know, and anyway, yeah, it's been funny to play with inflection and ride that wave. Anyway, okay. So my guest is Julia Rene. She is an IFBB pro in the wellness division. She's a content creator. She's big on YouTube. I'm looking directly at her while I say this. You guys are over there. So we're not really, I'm sorry. I see you, but
you're not really, yeah.
Sorry. Okay. You're also the founder and owner of Know Your Purpose, or I'm sorry, Know Your Power.
Yes.
Know Your Power, which I did a little bit of homework, and it's coaching, and it's a podcast, and it's a newsletter, and you have retreats under that name, and there's clothing.
So much
and
stuff.
Yes. And you have the Know Your Power guided journal on Amazon, which is rated really well. And there's a lot of ratings. So I just was looking at it and I'm like, you've grown this brand and I have no idea about the journey of all of that. And I'm going to ask some questions about it, but there's within the Know Your Power, there's so much going on.
There really is.
And I'm correct in saying that you founded that.
Yes.
That's your thing.
Yes.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
How old are you?
27.
Okay. I was going to say 26, 27. So you're also really young.
I guess so.
I'm 32. Okay.
I
I'm
feel
a little late to the game.
When I turned 27, I was like, you're officially closer to 30 than you are 25. Like something about it. And I swear the day that I woke up and turned 27, I all of a sudden had smile lines and I was like, where did this come from?
Go away.
And I was like,
you're not welcome.
Really
here.
upset. But
I'm telling you, at least as a 32-year-old, I'm so into it. Like I love getting older.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, but
Good.
I also had really turbulent 20s and whatever. Anyway,
the turbulent 20s.
Yeah, we call them thriving 30s. Yes. But I said that as I came into my 30s and created a tremendous amount of turbulence in that first year or two. So then it's like been funny, but I will say it's definitely at this point feels like a lot better. So
good.
Nice. Yeah.
I mean, I've heard people say like your 30s are going to be incredible, and I'm like, I've really loved my 20s so far. So I'm just like really pumped to see what that next chapter looks like too. So I'm just not a fan of needing more Botox. Not a fan of that.
Do you mind if I ask, who do you go to for yours?
Her name is, totally. Heather the Injector. She's in Georgetown.
Okay.
But I drive for that girl all day. She does my lips. She does my Botox. I love her. She even does my armpits. I get Botox in my armpits. So
that you don't sweat?
Yes, because I'm a sweaty girl.
That's funny.
Like bad. So saves my life.
That's funny.
Yes.
There's a girl, Michelle. She's like South that I've gone to, but it's been a while. Anyway. Okay. So I want to start with how we met. I love starting with how we met. And this one's fun for me. So I was relatively new in Austin, Texas, living here less than a year or somewhere right around a year.
Wow.
I'm in a Los Campeones, the South location, and I'm like trying to film something goofy. And so it's awkward. Like it's propped up probably against a water bottle, knowing me, whatever. And you just walk by. We've never met. We don't know each other at all. And you just walk by and you're like, see what's happening. And you just get it. And and you're like, do you want me to just do that for you?
I know.
And so that, like, I love that being our first time meeting. And then of course me now, like having tuned into your journey and paying attention. And it's just what I recall from that experience. And then every time I've seen you in the gym, which now we are not in the same place ever. So, but it's always like you are just so vibrant, like in real life. And I think what's cool to notate on that is just because you have social media, and we live in Austin and we see people who exist on social media and in real life all the time.
And it's like
very different things. Very different
things.
It's
like, who's that?
Right.
And I think that there's like this, there's this comfortability that comes with social media when you're hiding behind it. You're completely different on social media because you can hide behind photos. You can hide behind this like persona that you've created of being like an influencer or whatever. Yeah. And then when you go out in like social situations, it's like, oh, right, I need a human.
Yeah.
and then you don't know how.
Yes. Yeah. And I guess you literally bring the camera along for so much of the journey. There's no way that you could just put on all the time is kind of almost my opinion, because I've watched some of it. I'm like, you're literally always with the camera. At least for this part of the series, the vlog and all of that. But I just think it's important, because as I have had the opportunity to get to know people who exist on the internet with love, like I'm sure you had no idea who I was. Not like you just, I was simply just like, were being friendly.
I need to help her do this content, because that's what I would want someone to do for me. Yes. If I ever see someone that's like struggling to get like a photo or like wanting to film a video or something, I'm there. Yep. I'm there because I'm like, I know what that feels like. Yes. And it's, sometimes you just need like, okay, just someone just fucking do this for me, please. Or if I see a girl like taking a glute photo and then she'll like get nervous and see like that someone's watching her, I will like, I'm like, go off, get that photo. I'll move out of the way. Do you want me to do it? Do you want me to do it? Cause I remember being that girl that was so scared of taking photos and so uncomfortable with like putting myself out on social media. I would hide in the corner and prop my phone up on a dumbbell because I was just embarrassed of somebody seeing me recording myself. And now I like can go out in public and do it, but it was a long time to get to that point. So I'm all for people doing the content and stuff. So when I see someone doing it, I'm like, they know.
Yeah.
They know.
I respect the hustle. Yeah, I love it. Well, so when did, and I'm, so just for also, we have like a finite amount of time that we have to work with.
I know, yeah.
So here's what's the total bummer. Like I walked in and I want to have a lot of conversation before it's just not an option. And we're not going to get through everything I want to, I could ask you so many questions and I'm going to do my best. So anyway, what I will start with was just, when did that switch for you, of when the fear of other people seeing it, like how many reps in, how many months, years in were you when you started to gain comfortability? Like what was that journey like?
Oh, okay. So I started my business in 2020.
Okay.
Peak pandemic.
4 years ago.
That's when I quit my salon job. I was a makeup artist and a hairstylist, and I just went full in on know your power. And this is what I wanted to do. I wish I can tell you that I threw up my, like, I don't know, scissors and my apron, because this is a hairstylist, and was like, I quit. Yeah. I'm never coming back. But that's not real life. Yeah. So I slowly started like tapering it down. And then eventually December 19th was my last day, 2019. Okay. So I started my business in 2020. I was getting the reps in at that point because I was working on my business while I was, still having to do a 9 to 5. I was posting on social media in the back room, and we weren't allowed to be on our phone. I would have everything planned out so that all I had to do was just hit post and I can go back to my clients. Yeah. And because that's just how bad I wanted to be out. Yeah. And it went from me filming myself in like 2018, 2019, 2020, having the courage to like start talking on my stories and stuff. Each year I started doing it, and there'd be times I'd pick up my camera, I'd pick up my phone, and I'd record the same video over and over. Oh, you sound so stupid. Oh, like do it again. Now I pick it up. If I stutter, I don't give a fuck.
No, seriously.
Because that's real. Yes. That's real. And people, they don't relate to you when you're trying to be perfect and have everything together, because honestly, that's really boring. They relate to you when you're just humaning just like the rest of them, because we all are. Yeah. So I would say that the more that I did it year after year after year, it went from just social media, like just being on Instagram. And then I had the courage to start a podcast. And then I had the courage to go into YouTube. So it was little thing by little thing. And once I did one thing, I had the courage to do the next thing. Once I did that, I had the courage to do the next thing. But the continuous thing is that I just never gave up. I just kept going. Even if I felt like I sound stupid, if I was talking to the void, I just didn't give up.
Yeah. I love it. I remember there was like this challenge that because I only started to put stuff on the internet a couple of years ago, in any sort of like whatever. Anyway. And, I remember a challenge that I did saying like, you have to talk on your story every day. And I was like, so I don't have anything to say every day, and of course, LOL, this time later.
You don't have anything to say? Okay. Yeah.
But it was just, I remember thinking like, literally, I don't have anything of value to say every day. So that feels
it doesn't
awkward.
need to be a value.
Totally. Right. And then from there, I also remember choosing to do that. And then probably 6 months to a year later, I started to receive some messages from individuals who had already been, paying attention in my life, whatever. Over the course of that time, probably it took 6 months to a year for a few different people to say, hey, by the way, you look so much less awkward doing this, And so yet again, it was just like, it's funny because I don't know why they chose to do that, but I do recall those things of where, yes, it felt uncomfortable.
Yes.
Duh. And then, so my curiosity too, with your journey with starting to broaden, you're also 27, which to me is so young. And if you started that 4 years ago, then you were 22, 23. And so a lot of us are super driven by fear and fear of what others will think.
I definitely had a lot of that. And like, I still get that. Like, I mean, with putting yourself out on social media, you have to be willing to accept everything that comes with. And that comes with everyone's opinions, whether it's nice or whether it's not nice. So you have to willingly choose into that and not be angry at the result that happens. Yeah. So of course, when I first started, it was just like my high school friends and I was like, oh my God, they're going to see me. It's so embarrassing. Yeah. I would post photos there's a solid year I posted photos with no head. It was neck down. Don't know why. Probably because it was just embarrassed. Like I just wanted to post my new Gymshark outfit or something like that. But I didn't post my face because I was so, scared and fearful of what other people were going to think. And sometimes it did cause me to not go and do something that I wanted to do, but eventually I would just do it because they're not paying your bills. Yeah. If this is something that you really want to do, whether it is social media or if it's starting your own business or it's, leaving a job that's just not serving you, at the end of the day, if you let people dictate whether you're happy or not, like you're not going to go after that thing and then you're going to be forever unhappy. So do that uncomfortable thing. And if these people are, judging you or making fun of you, are they really your friends? And sometimes it's family. Most of the time it's family. It's the people that are the closest to you. And fuck them. I mean,
tell them how you really feel.
Really, just if I would have listened, like I wouldn't be here right now.
Yeah. I mean, it's most of us have heard some form or fashion of this before, but it echoes in my mind all of the time of like, anytime that you receive feedback from anyone, like, is this someone that would I swap lives, and especially, or even if it's just in one sector of like, do they have something that I want? And if the answer is no, that's a really good, filter for me to just move along. Yeah. And so anyway, I do want to ask, so back then the goal was I want to do this full time. I want to step out of this career. I want to go into this one. My curiosity, like when I was writing my notes today, is I'm just like, what is her goal? Why is she doing all of this? Because you're doing a lot. Yes. And I am like, hats off, please do a lot. Inspire the hell out of me. Show me it's possible. All of the above. But so what are you trying to get done?
So the reason that I do all of the things that I do and the reason that I have built my brand off of the phrase, you're more powerful than you think, is because I want women to know that about themselves. Because I remember what it felt like to think that I was powerless, whether it was, the job that I was at, that I couldn't do this, I couldn't do that because I was a woman, or maybe I should just stay in my lane here. And I did not like that feeling. And the thing is there's so many women, especially like these women that I'm bringing into the program, they're so powerful to create whatever reality that they want to, but there's so many things that stifle that power, whether it's society, people's opinions, family, friends, and the biggest one, themselves. So I want them to rediscover that power that has literally been there all along. Yeah. I'm not doing anything special. I'm just showing them like,
yes, you are.
Hey, it's already been there. I'm just, there was this, I think it was an Instagram post, and I get it sent to me a lot. And it's something that just says, my love language is showing you how powerful you are. And I'm like, that's it.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm here. And I do it through the podcast. I do it through my coaching. I do it through the women's empowerment retreats, because I know that most physique journeys, they tend to start from a very vain place, and there's nothing wrong with it. That's okay. But what gets you to actually achieve that goal is inside. How you feel about yourself, how much you believe in yourself, your confidence level, not letting those things like people's opinions get in the way. Right. So in our program, we marry the personal development, the spirituality, the emotional intelligence with the health and fitness together, and they're equally as important. And I think that's what sets it apart from most programs that just hit your macros, go work out. Every week we're talking about a different topic, like whether it's, body dysmorphia, it's your confidence, it's, last week we were talking about limiting beliefs, like whatever it might be. Yeah. So that's why I'm doing this, because I want every woman to feel the way that I feel about myself, that I really believe that I am powerful enough to create whatever I want. And I want them to know that too. Yeah.
That's a good why. So was bodybuilding a part of that at its launch? Like at its inception, it was already a part of, because your other goal, like your physical goal, is to be an Olympian.
Yes.
As a wellness pro.
Yes. So that just kind of happened. It wasn't ever
So it wasn't when you were doing Know Your Power, when you launched in, was that already one? No. Or that became one?
No, I didn't think I was going to. I decided that I wasn't going to compete, actually. And then just kind of like, I was like, oh, I kind of really like this thing. Like I had been building muscle, and there was a general idea of where I wanted my physique to go. And I didn't have the intention of becoming an IFBB pro. And then, I did my first 2 shows and I won both of them, and was like, hey, I might be kind of good at this thing. Yeah. And I really enjoyed this process. I wonder how far I could take it. And then that's when it was like, I want to be an IFBB pro. I want to be an Olympian. So that's just a part of the journey. I feel like bodybuilding is a way that I connect with people to bring them into my environment of Know Your Power.
Yeah, it's your vehicle that you're using to get your message across, which is so cool. Okay, so I'm going to take a look at this because I want to see where we're at. I just have some good questions, and I don't want to get too taken aside from what I say. I have good questions. According to me, I have good questions.
There are good questions.
Yeah. So with the journey of, when did you realize that you were so powerful? Like you want to bring other women into that, and that's important to you, but why is that important to you? Like you felt disempowered at one point.
Yeah.
And then what changed that narrative for you?
So I used to think that it was something that was a one-time thing, but over the past few months of me, prepping and coming out of it, and I've started to realize that knowing your power and, discovering it and stepping into your power, it's like an ongoing thing that you continue to do. There's going to be so many aspects in your life where you have to re-step into your power. You have to step into your power again. And I'm in a phase right now where I'm having to take a lot of courage and step into my power again. And I've been realizing over the past few weeks, I'm like, this isn't just a one-time deal. This is something that you do again and again. And for me, I think the first time it just showed up with, physically, like I had always been an athlete. Yeah. I was a wrestler in high school.
Jimmy, do you know my boyfriend at all? I don't think that you do. Jimmy, I don't think so. I'll show him anyway. He was a wrestler.
That's so cool.
The coolest. Like, I want to talk to you about him. By the way, when we were downstairs, I was like, wanted to start talking about that. I'm like, we have to get into the episode. I could talk her ear off about it.
You're like, we gotta go.
You'll enjoy. I believe that you'll think he's like, he's one that, side note, like when you were talking about the physique stuff, he's been so cool for me to experience. He toggles his physique so in such a dialed fashion that it's like when he talks about being flat or being full or doing the what you talk about, I'm like, I literally see this on you. See, I was an alcoholic for 15 years. And so like, that just wasn't an option to me. And so now I'm getting to a place where like, it's just cool to see like when he says he's those things and like look and be like,
you're like, I kind of know what they mean.
Like, I know exactly what you're saying. I see it. And I know the behaviors that led to it. And it's really cool to like experience vicariously through him. But he also was a wrestler. Anyway. Okay. You were a wrestler. Please go back.
Yeah. So I had always been an athlete, but then like, I just was so tired and fed up with, cause I've been competitively dieting since I was 15. Like when you're a wrestler, you diet to be in a specific weight class, but when you're a bodybuilder, you diet to a specific look. So for me, I had always been an athlete and then went into beauty school, just completely let myself go. Kind of like lost myself in a job that I thought was going to bring me happiness and I thought was my career and the thing I was going to do the rest of my life. And I kept wondering like, when am I going to be happy? When am I going to be happy? You know, okay, maybe I'll be happy when I do this. Maybe, and I just kept not being happy. And I turned out that it wasn't the thing that I was supposed to do. Yeah. So there was a time where I had to step into my power and get myself like out of that funk and like take care of my body, take care of my mind. Cause I was so angry and negative and just felt like I was just at this bottom of this pit and drinking, smoking, and I had to step into my power then. And I finally got my, you know, habits under control. And then I was like, I don't like this job. I had to step into my power again. And I had to quit it, leave it, start my business, have the courage to do that in my 20s and leave a relationship that wasn't serving me, someone that I thought that I was going to marry. I had to do it again. And I just keep having to do that. And it's challenging, it's uncomfy, but it's brought me to where I am right now. So I think that I'm going to have more times in my life where I'm going to have to just, okay, girl, it's time to step into your power. You've done it before. You already have it. It's there. You just got to do it again.
Well, you have the reps and you have the social support and accountability, which when it comes to success and habits, those are, you know, foundational pieces of the puzzle. And you have curated that for your life through giving it to other people, which will hopefully serve you in return in the times that you need it. I'm sure it already has.
Yes.
But, so another thought that I have about you is that, and I love this. So you, because of all of the laundry list of things I said when we introed about all the things that you do, I have also thought her schedule, her calendar is very full and there's not like everything is accounted for. And so the point of that is I feel that many people listening could think of that and it be so far from where they are today that then it feels unrelatable, right? But there's a journey to arrive there. You didn't just arrive there overnight, I would assume.
Yes.
And like even all of these different things that you've built, these different ventures and the coaching and the this and the that, like there are systems in place that drive that, right? And it could be easy to just think like, I'll never be able to achieve that. That is so much, right? But you probably like launched one thing and then added another thing.
For sure.
Then added another thing.
All of this was like baby steps. Like if you would have told the girl that was still, you know, 18 and 19 and she's an assistant at a salon and she thinks that this is going to be like her thing in her career, that she was, one thing is also crazy. When I was in, and I only realized this, I think last year and remembered this, when I was working at that salon and I thought like, okay, I had I'll be happy when syndrome. And that's just like, I'll be happy when I lose the weight. I'll be happy when I get a big booty. And it's like, you're always chasing. Yeah. So I was in that point and I went on a trip with my team at the salon and everything. And it was like 18 or 19. I went to a psychic there, just a fun little LA thing. And I remember going and she's telling me that this isn't the job that you're supposed to be at. You're a leader. You're supposed to be like in charge of your own thing. And I left there being so mad. I was so mad at this lady. I was like, she don't know anything. I was supposed to be a creative, an artist, like, ugh, whatever. Years later, I was like, that bitch was right.
Yeah. And what are the odds that it was literally just like the energy that you carried into the room? Like something as simple as like just the way that you entered the room. She's like, oh.
It was so crazy. And at that time, didn't believe that was possible. I was like, me?
Yeah.
I was like, me too. Yeah. No. So of course, like all of like, if you would have told that past me what my life looks like now, I would have said, hell no, that's too big. That's too scary. Like I wouldn't even talk on camera. Too much work. That's just too much work. But I do like to say that I have the most incredible team that takes a lot of the pressure off of me so that I can stay in my genius. And that's just spreading my message. So, but I wouldn't have gotten there if it wasn't for all these baby steps of, let me just start with Instagram. Started with Instagram. Then I was like, okay, let me post one TikTok. Okay, I'll go on TikTok. Okay, maybe I have the courage to speak on a podcast. No one will see my face, so I could just talk into, okay, that's a little comfortable. Now I can talk into a mic. Let me talk on camera. All of this was little things, little things, little things. I didn't start doing it all at once.
Right.
I didn't have the courage. Right. I didn't have the guts. Didn't have the time. I didn't have the knowledge, and slowly it just came.
Right. I think that's so cool. So it was Instagram, then TikTok, then podcast plus video, and then YouTube, and like then the vlog thing. You know, I mean,
then YouTube, then the women's empowerment retreats, and like completely rebranding everything. Yeah, it was just all one thing at a time.
Right. And I think that's I want to extract from that, the point of that, I suppose. I'm like using you as a prime example because you do it all, like it's curated, it's well done. And I'm excited for you because your mission is like a badass one. And so I want you to like execute that thing like to the highest degree, you know? But for someone, it's just so easy in the day to day for a person to get really caught up in in that discomfort of whichever stage of that journey that they're in, and feeling like they're never going to push past that. Right. And so just an encouragement of the know your power of like, if you keep doing the reps, something will occur. But as soon as you stop doing the reps, you'll never find out. And so I think that that's really inspiring.
Thank you.
And so I do, and I love that, like selfishly, I guess. So Jimmy, I'll mention him again. He has a team, right? Because he's a really accomplished athlete. That's a big thing of his. And then he also has a really successful coaching business. And there's a lot of things that he's got going on, right? And so it's been wonderful for me to have such close proximity exposure to that, because I moved here by myself and did it by myself and the narrative by myself. And I'm not actually under the illusion at this point that I've done anything by myself. I've had help every step of the way, but self-reliance is a real theme in my life of like, I'll try to do everything by myself and not ask for help, to like absolutely my own demise and even the mission's demise. And if it's a good mission, why are you doing that? You know? And so watching him and knowing that you have these teams, it's just encouraging, because it's like solopreneur or whatever isn't really like the thing that's that attractive after all. Like you did start by yourself.
Yes.
And then you grew to a place where it was reasonable to start to bring people
along, where I
right?
was like, if I continue at this route, I'm going to drive myself mad.
Yeah.
Because we live in a world where I'm doing it all on my own. Like it's so cool. Right. And it's like, oh, wow. But no one who's made, anything of themselves has truly done it alone. Yeah. You always have like that backup, that support. And if I didn't have them, like I wouldn't be here today. Yeah. And I can remember the first point where I knew that I needed help, but I have such major control issues where I want to control everything, but there's power in relinquishing control and letting people step into their genius while you're in your genius. And once I started allowing that, it actually propelled me a lot faster. And I remember there was a point in 2020 where by me having that courage to step out of my job at the salon, I actually saved myself from being out of work, because a month later the salon closed down and it was COVID. So hindsight is 2020, because I literally would have been out of a job, and then everybody needed an at-home online coach. And that was the business that I was starting. So it all worked out the way that it was supposed to, even though it was really, really scary. And I had so many like leads coming in because people needed a at-home like online trainer because they couldn't go to a gym. And I was so overwhelmed and I didn't know how to do any of this. And I just started and it was like, I need help. And that was when I hired my first assistant just to organize like the calls that were coming in and applications. And that was the first time that I relinquished some control of doing it all on my own. And now we're here.
Yeah. Okay. That's what I was going to ask is what was the first role that you hired out, but someone to do kind of admin stuff. Okay. And now what does the team look like now? Do you mind sharing?
Yeah. Okay. So I have 2 operations managers, and then I have a virtual / like personal assistant, my videographer, and then I have 2 coaches as well.
Okay. And the 2 coaches that are coaching you?
No, 2 coaches that are coaches within the program. Yes.
Okay. And then
I do have a business coach, but
yeah, I was going to say,
I do have a business coach.
You have a coach that coaches you on your business.
Correct.
And you have 2 coaches within your athletic endeavors. You also have 2 coaches that you work with on that front.
Oh, no. I have a bodybuilding coach that's I'm starting to realize how many people I have a bodybuilding coach that holds me accountable, and he's because we all need the help. Like,
yes. Accountability is irrefutably linked to success.
Yes. Just like I give it to other people, like I need it just as much.
Totally.
I'm that for other people. I need it.
Yes.
So yes, I have a bodybuilding coach that he's just my bodybuilding coach for my training and all that. I have a business coach that helps me level up in my business, best practices. And then I have 2 coaches that are within the Know Your Power program that help with clients.
Yep. Got it.
Yes.
Okay. Cool. I think it's important to know because I think you can see what's going on, and then I always want to like peek behind the hood and see like, okay, what's actually.
I'm like, okay, what's going on?
Yeah, yeah, because it's so cool, and the thing too is like that when you break it down like that, then it's actually pretty approachable. Yeah, there's a course to get there, and it takes time, and you have to actually get the reps of doing the jobs and whatever, like realistically, each one of those roles that is hired out, you probably at some point had to do yourself and then eventually hire out, I would imagine.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And I was like, I can't do all of this. Yeah. It's too much.
Yeah.
Asking for help. Like I'm still learning that to this day, that it's okay to ask for help sometimes.
I feel so seen. Yep. Yep. It's the coolest thing. Cause like as soon I don't know, for me, I swear I will get myself in I'm like getting a little bit better about it, but like we'll get myself in a corner of like absolute despair over something. And then it's like the moment you ask for help, then you're good to go. And so for me, the easy grab would be like a few years ago when I got sober, saying like, hey, I actually have a problem and I need help. Change the trajectory of my life, hands down. Right.
Exactly.
And then repeat that a couple of years later, made a dumpster fire of my finances, reached out to some people who understand finances better and were like, hey, not thriving. Immediately got help. Like I could just go down the list of every time that like once you can finally go,
drop the ego and be like, all right.
Yeah. Somebody help me. Then you will get help.
Yes.
It's so cool.
Yeah.
Okay. So your schedule now, I want to get into basically, given that so many things are going on, and there's, I like the thought that I had earlier was like the plates that you're spinning, right? Or that you're having help spin, but they're spinning. What does your day-to-day look like in the sense of systems to keep you on track with all of these goals?
So I think the one thing that I realized early on is that like when you become an entrepreneur, like it seems like, it's like really cool. Like it is really cool. And I'm very grateful that I can create my schedule any way that I want, but you can also create your schedule however you want.
To be a monster.
Yes. Or do whatever you want, whenever you want, and have no like set schedule. So when you have like a traditional 9 to 5, like you're expected to be somewhere and then you leave at a certain time, and that's it. You need to set those expectations for yourself as an entrepreneur as well. And at first I did not do that. It was just like, I get to do what I want. I don't have to go to the salon. I can just do these clients whenever I want. But now everything is meticulously planned. Like I have specific days that I'm posting content. I have specific days that I'm talking about my program. I have specific days that the podcast, like everything is on a schedule, and my whole team knows all of that when everything is being done. So that was the biggest thing for me was, okay, you create content on this day. You film on this day, you post on this day, you talk about this on this day. So behind the scenes, like everything is very meticulously planned. I'm also very anal and super, super organized. So that helps too. Yeah. But at first it was just willy-nilly. Yep. But now everything has a time and a place and a purpose. And I know what I'm doing on each day. And then I also make sure that my training and my food and my cardio is also top priority. So it's booked off on my schedule. No one books off during my cardio sessions or my training sessions because those are equal as priority as anything else. No one books over my morning routine because if I want to show up the best that I can be for me, for my team, for my clients, I need to make sure I'm okay.
Yep. And that's where I want to go next. But before I go there, what I love is what I heard is you've just removed all of the need for inspiration, right? Because especially with creation and so on, like there is this beauty too when you feel invigorated and inspired to create. And yet, if you have a business that you're running, like you don't just get to show up when you feel like it.
Yeah.
You know? And so I love that what it sounds like is you have created a system over the course of time.
Yes.
And grown it to where now it is like, you know what? My mood cannot dictate my actions, whether I feel like showing up here or not. If I actually want to get this done, I'm just going to have to like do it anyway with your food, with your training, with whatever. And just flexing that muscle repeatedly has now built something super inspiring. And so like, I just want to give you a round of applause for it. Cause I really do, you know, I mean, I think it can be really easy to, I don't know, just not recognize how badass you are sometimes. And I know it's kind of your thing, but it's just really cool. So now I want to go to your morning routine because you have the journal, you have the guided journal.
Yes.
And then obviously too, I feel that a morning routine is very, very important to keeping your head on straight, right? And so what does your morning routine look like?
So I'm also the type of person that I do everything exactly the same every day. And like, I find,
if you watch our vlogs, you know this.
I find joy in doing exactly the same thing every day. Like I don't, it's so weird. Anybody that lives with me would know that, but I mean, I wake up and do faster cardio in the morning. So I have my clothes set out. It's already ready to go so that it's just a non-negotiable. Hey, you don't have to make the excuse of, oh, I have to pick out an outfit. It's already there. So I wake up anywhere between 5 and 5:30. If I have 9 a.m. client calls, I usually wake up at 5 because I like to do a full beat before my first.
Wait, you what?
I do my full beat before I do my 9 a.m. calls.
Is that your
makeup?
Okay, I'm like, what is a full beat? You can tell I have no idea. Oh my gosh. Okay, so
yeah, so I'm
on.
like, if I have 9 a.m. calls, it's 5. If it's a little push, then it's 5:30.
Okay,
but then I wake up and put my cardio clothes on immediately, brush my teeth. I do a little ice roller on my face, start drinking water immediately, probably do a little Hydra pack, then take the dogs and we go upstairs, light a candle. I put on some meditative music. It's like different frequencies.
Okay.
So if I'm journaling, like I can do the gratitude frequency. If I'm doing my goal setting, I'll put on like the manifestation frequency.
Oh, cool. Where are these? Look at are these things
Spotify.
that are on Spotify?
Yeah.
That's cool.
I think it's called, oh shit, I should know it by now. It's literally, I play it every morning. But so I play those like different frequencies and it really gets me into that state of dreaming and goal setting. So every morning I write down the same goals that I have. They change from season to season if I'm in competition prep or, if I'm in a reverse diet. So they change. Like my competition goals were more so like, very physique based and like, I want to hit this number. I want to feel like this way. And now it's a little bit like, I, want to maintain between this and this weight, things that are a little bit more gentle and kind to my ever changing body in this reverse diet. So, but the importance of doing that is on one side of the paper, like I'm writing down like how I'm feeling every single day with anything that's going on. I have journals dating back to when I was in like 6th or 7th grade, like in my closet, just chock full of documenting my life.
Yeah.
And then the other side, goals. And when I'm writing them, I write them as if they've already happened because they have. It's just only a matter of time. So instead of like, I kind of, sort of want to lose weight, it would be nice. It's like, no, I am this person. So I started doing that, I think the past like year and a half to 2 years is just literally marking off those words that were uncertain and swapping them with words that were certain.
Yeah.
So I am, those are really, really powerful. So every morning I'm doing that. It's like revenue goals. It can be social media goals, my own personal physique goals, goals that I have, how I want to show up as a leader on social media within my business. And then we go and do cardio. We go do cardio. And then that's the first time that I check my phone is when I'm on the Stairmaster. Then I answer all my DMs on Instagram and make sure that they're cleared for the day. And then I go home and we make breakfast.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. And so the practice within the journal, I didn't know about the frequencies thing. So I love that's why I was like, I want to get into the weeds of this because some of it will be what I expect. And then some of it I'm curious. I didn't know about those. The journal that you have on Amazon.
Yes.
Is it like, cause you said it's guided and it I didn't see pages on the whatever, I just saw the front and back covers, I believe. And so I'm just curious, like I have also, I have a thing that I do in the morning as well. Right.
Everyone has their own thing.
Yeah. Yeah. But I will say like, just like anything, systems can always be improved, optimized, changed to, whatever. So what I do right now, I'm very grateful to be doing anything consistently. Hello.
I love
But also
that.
like, I can optimize it. And so the guided one, I'm just curious so that people can know. So
I created the Know Your Power daily guided journal for anybody that is like wanting to get into journaling and is like, what do I do? So there's a day section and there's an evening section so that you start your morning, with tracking your goals, expressing gratitude, magical moments, like a brain dump. So it's a mixture of like tracking your goals that you have with like your physique and stuff, but also that you have within yourself. And then there's a nightly section for you to like close out the day and really reflect on how you showed up and how, well it went and how you felt because the day is over at that point, and that's usually when the majority of the stuff has happened and we never really close it out. So it's perfect for anybody that's like, okay, when I sit in front of a journal, I just stare at it blank and don't know what to write. It's perfect.
Yep. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. Okay. Well, I'll put that in the description as well, just so that.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah. I mean, I'll put your other stuff as well, but I love that because I do feel very, very convinced that the power of if you don't give some time in your day to the direction that you are trying to head, how the fuck are you supposed to get there? And I'm saying I mean this to me. And I'm so excited about the journey that's been going down for me, even in the last 6 months or whatever on this front, because it's like, where are you going? But then as soon as you can really clarify that and spend intentional energy there, you head the direction of it, which is so exciting.
And that's why I like having it as the first thing that I do at the beginning of the day so that my why is right there in front of my face. It's the first thing that I think about in the morning. Yeah. And it really does affect the way that I show up in everything for the rest of the day 1,000%. With my clients, with my team, like just going out, like to HEB, all of that stuff. So it's important for your purpose, your why, what goal that you have to be on your brain as you continue throughout your day. Because a lot of us are rolling out of bed, checking our phone, and you're checking your emails and your text messages, and you're starting the day on everyone else's terms but yourself. And you're diving into, what are they doing with their lives? And all this time that you're wasting on waking up and digging into what everyone else is doing, what your boss expects of you, the text messages that you got first thing in the morning. And not yourself?
Yeah.
You could do that later. Do that later.
No, you're right.
And if you don't have time in the morning, you're obviously waking up too late.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, just set it. Yeah. It's just so powerful. It then also takes me back to a few years ago when I got sober and they said, hey, and this was the first experience that I'd had where they were like, the people that I was seeking help from said, you're going to get on your knees and pray every morning. Right. Yeah. And at this point I wasn't a spiritual person. I really was not in a vibe. I was like, don't make me do that. Do not make me do that. But I was desperate and I did it. And then over the course of time, I don't know, it probably took close to a year for that to resonate in any fashion with me. So I continued to take the action out of desperation. But then eventually over the course of time, it started to feel different. And just like with your writing every morning, there are days where you're in it, like you writing it and you're feeling it. And then there are days when you're writing it and you're not feeling it.
Oh yeah.
But if you don't write it on the days that you don't feel it too, then you don't get to experience it when you do.
Yes,
exactly. And so it's just
another
daily discipline. And I just love with this goals or these, whatever the things are, like if you actually mean that, if you truly mean it, then how much is that length of time worth? It is not an exorbitant amount of time. For me, the prayer thing, less than a minute realistically, right? For the writing, probably 5 to 10 minutes. I don't know. But for me, that's 5 minutes, maybe.
And that's the thing. It's like everyone's morning routine is going to look different. And I know like when you see on, you know, social media and stuff, like everyone's like, I woke up this morning at 3 a.m. I did an hour of yoga, 200 push-ups. I drank a green juice. It's like sometimes we do not have time to do a hour and a half long morning routine. And I understand that. My morning routine is probably too long for people too. But what can you do with 5 minutes?
Well, everybody's scrolling if they're not. Like, that's the thing is, let's be real. Let's be honest. That 5 minutes, like we can all identify times in our mornings 100%. Where we are scrolling for far longer than 5 minutes.
Even if people just started with that, like that, it seems so simple. And I've been having my girls in the program do this challenge. And for the past couple of weeks is just wake up, first hour, no phone. That's it. Let's just try that first. And then you can start adding on to it once you start seeing like, oh, wow, I have so much more clarity. I have less anxiety. You know, my purpose and my why is the first thing that I think about now, not what everyone else is doing and what the world expects of me. There's time to do that later.
And I guess to round out that is just simply like, I'm bringing a lot of attention to it because I feel that it has had such a positive impact on my life. And I believe that based on what you're telling me, it's had a positive impact on your life. And that's like what we are interested in sharing with this, you know? And that being said, if it doesn't resonate with you and you don't give a shit, fine. But I also don't believe that like that's anyone listening to this. I think they're interested. So
take what you want, leave what you don't.
Okay. I want to be respectful to your time because I know that we are.
What time is it? Oh, wow.
I know.
We have flown by.
I told you, like I had this and I was like, you gotta go. So I've been going. Okay. What are you excited about right now?
Right now, I'm just excited about being present. I've just this time where like we're going into the holidays and I've been going balls to the wall for this entire year now. And I really just look forward to this new chapter of, you know, really just accepting my body and eating more food and training and having more energy and getting to spend this time with my family and, you know, just chill for a little bit. I like it. I like it a lot. Okay. We always finish out with 3 things that you are grateful for today. So I know I said, what are you excited about? And I suppose that blends over. Sorry. But what are 3 things that you're grateful for today? Oh, today I'm grateful for this. For getting to get to know you a little bit better. And this it's been incredible. And I appreciate you even thinking about me. I'm grateful for my little puppies I have downstairs. And I'm just grateful for my body and everything that it's done for me over this year. You know, it's so easy to just forget about, you know, what we put ourselves through every single day, like the stress that we put ourselves through mentally, physically, like just being grateful to be able to get up because some people can't. So I thank you that my body has been able to put me through. I've put it through the ringer over these past couple of years.
And it does really cool stuff.
It does. Really cool stuff. It can do a lot more than you think.
Oh, okay. That was appropriate. That was very on brand.
It was on brand.
Okay. My 3 gratitudes today are going to be that I am grateful that Jimmy is so I'll do 2. One is I got to go to this goal setting retreat this weekend. That was really great. Yeah, it was so good. It was the author of The One Thing. Jay
Okay.
His event locally. And so anyway, I had the opportunity to go to that and it was great. And so I'm grateful for that opportunity. That being said, I'm grateful to have a partner who is so clear on his goal, his mission, that his yeses and nos are so clear. And it's like, is it getting me closer to my goal? So I'm grateful to have spent time working on that for myself. And I'm grateful that I am I get to experience watching someone else behave that way. It helps me learn to behave that way. And then my 3rd gratitude will be, my mom is on. So we have a group that we do coaching calls and she's on the calls every single week. She always is. And it's the cutest thing. And anyway, her presence on there today. We do them on Mondays. Cool. It's so cool. She is in such better health and she is just such a, she's willing to listen to what I have to say and to do the homework that I tell the group to. It's it's crazy. So anyway, I'm very grateful for her energy.
That's so cute. That's such great support. Wow. My mom's going to be like, why don't you let me on your calls? My mom wants to just go everywhere with me all the time. She's like, can I come to your next event or photo shoot? I was like, sure. Yeah, sure.
Yep. Oh, that's funny. That reminds me. So my grandmother had the largest hand in raising me, and she passed a few years ago. And she used to come to my CrossFit competitions.
Oh, yeah.
And mind you, that was at a stage of my journey where I wasn't really good at anything. And anyway, things are better now, but like I still did it and I loved it. Anyway, she would come and she had no concept of like being at like when you're at an athletic thing, like your energy is very like you have worked up to this point, you got to do the thing. So it would be so funny. She would come and she'd be like showing me pictures of whoever.
You're like, I'm focused.
Yeah, and I was like, I love you so much, and I cannot do this right now.
I don't care what Brenda is doing on a Wednesday.
Exactly. But you know what? Like, I have those memories. I wouldn't trade them. So there's that.
I love that.
Okay. Thank you very much for your time. Absolutely. Yes. I will put in the description below her, you're probably already following her, but her social media, as well as her coaching business. I run a coaching business. They'll all be down there. So you know what? I bet we just do whatever resonates with you there.
Do whatever you want.
There we go. Yeah. Enjoy your life. And we just hope that you choose to have a beautiful day.
Aww, that's